right. Hello, everyone I've ever met before. You nervous? I am. Okay. So, to start this off, I'm going to paint you a picture. It's not quite the Mona Lisa. Well, maybe it is the Mona Lisa, but if it were drawn on a sticky note with a Sharpie, so like if you can kind of picture that. So here's the picture. You're 18, and you're also me. It is 2:17 a.m. on a Tuesday, and you're on one of those deep dives into the internet. For example, one time in an attempt to do my history homework, I found out about a game that I affectionately call Wikipedia Rat Race. In this game, you select two entirely unrelated topics, and then see how many clicks it takes for you to get from one article to the other using only the references on Wikipedia. Just so you know, that night, I was able to get from the Cold War to Club Penguin, the massively successful children's online game, in 7 clicks. So, you know, that kind of night. And somehow you have stumbled upon a video with the title being Welsh Stonecarver Tapping Gently and Sharing Wisdom. I know. In this video, you hear this quote, "Learn to enjoy your mistakes." And this inspires you. In fact, it inspires you so much that you make a speech to all of your peers and their parents and the random kids who are forced to be here because they're in band. Hey guys. You good? I'm so sorry. So I'll get back to that because, you know, this is a speech that I wrote and it'll come full circle, hopefully. So with the introduction to prepare you for what's about to come out of the way, how are we? Good, yeah? Well, if your answer isn't horrified, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, whose idea was it that 18 is the legal age of adulthood? For example, yesterday, I forgot how to spell the word thumb. And I was so arrogant about it that I didn't Google it. I just spent 39 minutes looking at the letters T-H-U-M and wondering what I was missing. And let me tell you, there were a lot of thumb moments throughout high school. And while I was busy figuring out how to get over myself and just Google the correct spelling, there's a B in it, by the way, for those who didn't know. I know I was also shocked. I was also expected to exceed academically, apply to top schools, go through puberty, establish friendships and relationships, do sports after school, learn how to relax, but not too much, keep up with your homework. Blah, I got lost. See, nervous. We're gonna restart. Keep up with homework, dealing with a face that essentially looks like a slice of pepperoni pizza. Plan for the future and make sure I can excel as an adult, while also trying to navigate my own identity and learning who I am, about myself, and what I need to improve on. And let me tell you, I feel like I'm like 45 sometimes. I'm just being honest with you. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it certainly feels that way, right? Like, I don't think I've really, truly relaxed since freshman year, and I could be projecting, but I have a feeling that there are some people sitting in caps and gowns who feel the same way as me. I mean, I bet there's some parents in the crowd who feel the same way as me, am I right? Isn't that strange? It's a big day for some of us. Some are going to college, some are entering the workforce, some will be going on a gap year, and all of us are roughly 18 years old, which means that we are all incredibly, we'll say, inexperienced. To put things in perspective, I do not know how to peel an orange, and so my solution to this problem is I just avoid them entirely, and yet I'm still entering the world of adulthood. So none of us are ready. Like, really, none of us are ready. And I know what you're thinking, look at my big floppy hat thing, of course I'm ready. And as beautiful as I'm sure you look with a square on your head, you're not. And that's okay. When you're 18, your brain is still developing. In fact, your brain will not be done cooking until you're about 25. I'm sure I learned that in science class somewhere, but in this case I had to Google that information. By the way, if you listen closely, you can hear all 4 of my science teachers face-palming simultaneously, so. But I mean, I don't blame them, and I don't blame you. There are a multitude of skills I haven't learned. I don't know how to make scrambled eggs. I never learned how to spell definitely to the point where it is misspelled on this piece of paper with the red squiggly line underneath it and everything. I don't know how to balance a checkbook or how relevant of a skill that even is anymore. And I don't know the exact location of Chicago on a map. Like, say this is Florida and this is California, I feel like it's here, but I know that's not right. That's just how I feel. And so basically this can only mean one thing. We're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And from what I noticed being here, a good chunk of my existence is that failure isn't like the it thing. And I mean, I get that. Failing by definition is not fun. And as someone who does it a lot, I can understand having a fear of it. For example, I ran for president during my sophomore year, and given the fact that there was another Matt sitting right there, I think it's safe to say I did not win. And let me tell you, that was a tough blow at the time. It's really tough to put yourself out there to your peers, have them look at you and essentially swipe left. One of my favorite memories of the election process was actually seeing a poster I made with my bright, shining face staring back at me from the first floor bathroom trash can, which was a fitting visual metaphor, now that I think about it. And before you start feeling sorry for me, I'm actually going to show you a little something. I don't know. Yeah. So, this is a shirt I made for the election. It reads, Haverty for Prez. I wore this shirt on the day that I gave my presidential speech. It was not made by one of my friends. It was not worn by my supporters. I made this for myself to wear. And listen, you're all pretty smart people. I don't think I have to explain to you the massive ego you have to wear a shirt that you made with your name on it. And if you're wondering what I said in my speech, my genuine answer is I don't remember, because truthfully, it doesn't matter. I ran for class president to validate myself, to affirm to myself that I am well-liked, popular, and capable. Something that at the time I couldn't really see in myself. I needed a win, and this was my chance. I needed to validate myself by winning what I viewed as a popularity contest. And I mean, at first I was upset. Failing in front of all your peers is a tough blow, but one that I decided to use as a learning opportunity. I learned that life is not a popularity contest, and seeking the approval of others will not bring you confidence. I was in it for the wrong reasons, and I did not deserve it. Also, let's be real, would I have been a good class president? I wrote this section of the speech last night at 1:47 a.m., so I don't see that working out particularly well on the bureaucratic side of things. And these sort of lessons don't just happen. You don't read them in a book. You don't get them explained to you in a lecture. Sometimes you have to fail in order to learn. It's all trial and error. I mean, that's basically all middle school is. It's a series of failures and disgraces that once we all leave the building, we're like, let's just never speak of that again. But aren't you a better person than you were then? As unfortunate as it is sometimes you have to fail and put the pieces back together to improve and grow. I'm so sick right now, it's disgusting. I am so sick. I thought I could get through it with but it didn't work. So sorry. I'm probably gonna do that again now that I cleared the air on that. Thank you. Again, still. Anyway. I mean, it's all trial and error. Read that part. I mean, think about it. Despite the fact that you are technically the oldest and wisest you've ever been, you're not done yet. And when you move on from this place, you're gonna change a lot. I don't know what the age is when you only read biographies and start wearing suspenders, but for your socks. But you'll hit that age at some point. I know, it's the dream. But it takes time to get there, and despite what has been subliminally drilled into your head since the day you took your first standardized test, high school graduation is not the end of your life. It's barely even the start. I'm just gonna keep going. And that can be scary, but it's also incredibly exciting. And if you're willing to try, you're gonna have so many opportunities and experiences. And when you head into the unknown, you're probably not gonna know things. And that's okay, because that's what makes the new so exciting. I've always hated the phrase, well, I'm only human, because you're not only human, you're human. And with that comes so much potential and so much good. I know humans are destroying the earth right now, we're having some problems sorting out our personal differences. But some of us don't know how to peel an orange. But despite that, we have the potential to do so much. The human experience is one of learning and growth, and when you throw that stupid square cap off your head and then awkward rummage around later to look for it, you will be taking the first step into your human experience. Back. So I encourage all of you not to hide that flawed, imperfect part of yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to grow or change, because someone who never fails is someone who is stagnant. And you owe it to yourself to live a little. So, with that out of the way, I know what you're all thinking about. What's the deal with this Welsh stone carver guy? So, his name is Ewan Reese. I'm not Welsh, so I did my best. And he's a really sweet guy, great with kids. And he said this quote while carving a dragon that really spoke to me, and now I'm going to relay it to all of you. Here we go. You make mistakes all the time if you're human. And I'm human, so I make them. The problem is then solving them. And that's fun, and that's enjoyable. And if you haven't got an answer, then you find it. And I think that's a wonderful thing, because you invent things and discover things. You are graduating today, and that's a big deal. You should be proud of the accomplishments you've made over the past 4 years, but you should also be proud of how much you've changed, and embrace the mistakes you've learned from and the flaws you've overcome to get to who you are today. Thank you all so much for the past 4 years. I wish you the best of luck with whatever weird thing you lie about doing at our high school reunion. Thank you.